In this lesson, we're going to look at how we find the lowest common multiple, or LCM, of two numbers. Now the example I have here is to find the lowest common multiple of 5 and 6. And 5 and 6 are fairly small numbers, so the method I'm going to use, I would use for whenever I have small numbers. Now we start with the number 5, and all we do is we write out the multiples of 5. So 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, etc. We now write out the multiples of 6, and we stop whenever we see a value which also appears in the multiples of 5. Now I know it's going to be 30, but just to show you, we've got 6, 12, 12 doesn't appear, 18, 18 does not appear, 24, again that doesn't appear, but 30 is the next multiple, and 30 appears in both lists. So the lowest common multiple of 5 and 6 is 30. So the LCM is 30. Now this method works when we have small values, but when we have larger values, then things can get a little bit tricky using this multiple method. So another method we can use is to actually use prime factor trees. So in this example here, we have to find the lowest common multiple of 260 and 56. So let's write out a prime factor tree for 260. Well, 260 we can split into 2 multiplied by 130, and 2 is a prime number. 130, we can split that into 2 and 65, 2 being a prime number, and 65 we can split into 5 and 13, and they're both prime numbers. So 260, that's equal to 2 multiplied by 2 multiplied by 5 multiplied by 13. Doing the same thing for 56, let's produce a prime factor tree, and we have 2 and 28. 28 splits into 2 and 14, and then 14 splits into 2 and 7. So 56 can be written as 2 multiplied by 2 multiplied by 2 multiplied by 7. And now we have to find the lowest common multiple. And the way we do this is we look at both lists and we start with the smallest number. So I'm going to start with 2. Now 2 appears twice in this list, but appears 3 times in this list. So we write the maximum number of times it appears down at the LCM. So 2 multiplied by 2 multiplied by 2. Now the next number would be 5. 5 appears once here, doesn't appear here, but we still write it down, so we've got 5 here. Next number is 7, and 7 appears once, and 13 here, 13 appears once. That's all numbers taken care of, and when we multiply these numbers, we would get 3,640.